What's up everybody, and welcome to the Bonsai Empire anniversary celebration. 25 years for Bonsai Empire, that's definitely quite an achievement, and congratulations to Oscar for accomplishing it. All of us wish him all the best in the future. I'm Nik Rozman from Nik Bonsai Studio in Slovenia, and I was tasked to answer one of the questions the public has given to us. I will be talking about Japanese maple bonsai, specifically what is the best procedure to making cuttings from it. So let's get right to it. Our first step is to find the donor plant, from which we will take the branches to make into our cuttings. So obviously we need to go into our garden or maybe even a tree nursery and find the maple variety which we like and which we would like to multiply. Obviously we need a tree with very long fresh branches, fresh growth, which will give us enough options in cutting, making the desired length and so on, which we can then proceed by using them for our cuttings. So for this video I have chosen one of the more common varieties of maples. So it's an Acer palmatum dissectum. You can find it pretty much in any tree nursery, and it's also quite common as a bonsai. The best time to do this is when our fresh growth is already a bit hardened off. So we don't want it to be completely soft, watery. We want it to be a bit firmer, and that this time is usually, at least in my place, somewhere around May, maybe beginning of June, depends on your location. So let's get right into it. So at this stage we don't really need to be much concerned on the length and about the future cuttings. We simply take a pair of scissors and pretty much as if we were just pruning the tree, simply taking as many branches as possible or as much as we need and take them off our tree. So up to this point we have collected our branches for the cuttings, and now we need to prepare them. For the cuttings, all we pretty much need is a branch about 2 internodes long, so with 2 pair of leaves. Everything more than that is not really necessary and will actually decrease our chances of success. If we have a shoot with the tip attached, we can still cut it like this and still reduce it. Also, what we can do is reduce the amount of leaves on our cutting. And since it will go into the soil until at least this much, we still have too many leaves on it. So we definitely need to reduce it. But the most important thing is you remove the tip, because that tip will take up too much water and will decrease our chances of success. Another important step is the cut needs to be clean. So you need to have some very sharp scissors and the cut should be at an angle. This will also increase our chances for success, for better root formation. And also it will increase the surface of the cut, which will produce our new roots. our cuttings are prepared and we are ready to prepare our potting material, so the pot and the substrate for the cuttings. When making multiple cuttings, I prefer using a slightly bigger pot like this and simply plant more of them into the same pot. Obviously you can also use pots with smaller compartments and plant every cutting into its own compartment, but since they will be repotted in a year or maybe 2 years, it doesn't really matter. You can still pretty much easily get them apart. So to make things easier, to preserve a little bit of space, I use pots like this, obviously with drainage hose and some mesh netting to cover the hose. For the potting medium, I have noticed by myself using fine akadama is usually best. So this is, I think it's 1 to 3 millimeters big, which will fill the majority part of our pot. Another thing quite useful for cuttings is some growth hormone, which we will dip our cuttings into before planting. Let's start by preparing our pot for our cuttings. So for the start, just to cover our holes, I will fill the bottom part of our pot with some regular size akadama, just so it won't fall out of the holes, to cover them a little bit, and we won't have any problems with that in the future. There you go, just to cover the bottom of it. And the rest we can just use the smaller size. Obviously the substrate needs to be sieved before use, so we still don't want any dust particles in it, which it would clog our soil too much. Regarding soil, maybe one more thing. You can also use some other soil, also some, I like to say, recycled soil from previous repottings. The only important thing is that the soil mix has the majority of akadama, and otherwise it also can have some pumice or bims in it. Also a little bit of lava or kiryu is also no problem for it. Once our pot is ready, we can continue by putting our cuttings into the soil mix. So simply take away your cuttings one by one, dip them into the growth hormone, and simply stick them into the soil. Roughly 3 to 4 centimeters, so slightly less than 2 inches is more than enough for them to have enough water, enough stability to start growing, producing new roots. If your cuttings are a bit more hardened off already, you don't really need to make any holes in the soil for them. They will go in quite easily, but if they're a bit on the softer side, you can still moisturize your soil a little bit, use some chopsticks, make a hole in it, in the soil, and then place your cutting into it. So after planting the cuttings, obviously we need to water it, so the procedure is pretty much the same like repotting any other bonsai. We need to water it thoroughly, really soak the whole volume of the pot with water until there is only clear water flowing out. And after this, regarding aftercare, since we are doing this in May or July, obviously the temperatures are usually a bit higher already and the sun is getting much stronger, so it's necessary to put them in a shady location. Also spray the leaves with water, if possible multiple times per day, to eliminate or to reduce the amount of water evaporating from it, because obviously those leaves are now the only thing keeping these branches alive until any new roots start to grow. So One option is to simply put them in on the northern part of your house where it's mostly shady, or simply under your bonsai benches, and that should cover that part. There we go. As you can see, the whole procedure is not really such a big deal. So the most important thing is the timing and the aftercare, which I've noticed from my own experience. Growing Japanese maple cuttings it usually tends to not be as successful as, for example, making cuttings with juniper varieties, which take very easily. Japanese maples usually tend to be a bit more tricky, or the whole thing isn't as successful. And honestly, perhaps if you want to grow smaller plants of Japanese maples, it is actually much easier to just use or grow them from seed than from cuttings. It just depends on what varieties of seeds or what varieties of cuttings you are able to get. So this has been it for my part. I hope this helps, and I wish you all the success by making Japanese maple cuttings in the future. Once again, Bonsai Empire, thank you for inviting me, for giving me this opportunity, and happy 25th birthday.